Do you think if you could still date your girlfriend, be engaged to her, have a great relationship, but at the end of the day, you both went to separate homes. You could even live next door maybe. You both, everything else exists, but you're like, hey, we're gonna, and like your house is just like.
She put you up to this?
No.
What is
but
this?
It's like, because I really believe that like the ideal situation for most happy couples would be like a guy and, it doesn't have to be a guy and a girl. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But like most situations would be like a couple, happy, great relationship. But then at the end of the day, when they're done hanging out or done with their date, they go to their own homes and they have their stuff there.
You're explaining dating.
Yeah, but it's
early
like,
dating.
Yeah, but I think though, like, if you could make it work being married, and instead of going home to your wife, you would go home to like 3 bros playing Madden.
Yeah, that's like dating in your 20s. You just think you revolutionized something. This was like when my cousin got stoned and reinvented the landline phone. She was like, oh, you know what? We should have like a thing where like you have like a cell phone that like just takes calls and it's only at your house and like it goes through the whole explanation. And I'm like, yeah,
just described it.
That's just a landline.
Right.
Those are extinct now, but
right.
We've had those for years. I did that once. I rewrote. I had been drinking, and I thought I had like a great movie idea, and it was just old school.
A guy that like comes back to school and parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was called Bro House.
Bro House. Like Roadhouse.
Yeah, I guess. No, I don't. There was no martial arts fighting in bars element to it.
Dude, you know what I'm a sucker for? Also, by the way, I do think that my idea still holds weight of married couples, committed couples, just at the end of the night going to separate houses.
Yeah, that's called a trial separation. That usually happens before a divorce.
Dude, you're telling me?
My parents tried that.
As happy as you are, you're telling me you wouldn't be like, as what you just did is so...
I don't mean to, man.
The attention you just attracted after everything we've gone through with the mics and dropping things and cameras.
What do you want from me?
You don't want to know.
I'm shaky.
You're telling me that like you don't think you would enjoy being like, I love you so much, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm talking about sleeping hours where you don't even have to be around. But instead you go home and you get like 2 hours of playing like college football 25 or whatever.
Okay, listen to me. Even if I did want this, the hypothetical scenario, which I'm not saying that I do, my future wife is about 35% of our YouTube following. Mm-hmm. So even if that's what I wanted, I'm not gonna say, hey, that would be great, that sounds awesome.
I would. I'd be out.
Your girl doesn't have YouTubes?
Dude, if I could have... But it's just a thing about like, just something about having your own thing, your own space.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's awesome.
That's why men have game rooms.
Right. I don't have a game room.
That's why
I barely have a room.
Remember when you said that you used to park in a car and just eat and watch TV on your phone?
Yeah. When I would go home, I would tell people, my sister still does this, but when I would go home, I would tell people like, oh, I gotta run some errands and then I'll be available at blah, blah, blah time, 4 o'clock. Really, I was available at 3. But for that hour, I would just like hit a McDonald's, sit in a parking lot and watch an episode of The Mandalorian on my phone like this in a shop and save parking lot.
Do you know what's crazy about that? That sounds amazing to me.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll never forget this. Thank you so much. I'll never forget this. I went, I was doing a show on the road and I was alone, and I found an Applebee's after, and I sat down at this bar at Applebee's. It was pretty quiet, small town. I got like a giant beer and 2 appetizers, and I called my girlfriend first while I was sitting there, and I was like, hey, this is what I'm doing, and I explained the situation. She's like, oh, I'm sorry you're all by yourself. She's like, I wish, I wish I was there with you, like, or somebody was there to keep you company or something. You had somebody on the road, and I was like, yeah, it is what it is. I'm fine with it, right? And then I called you, and I explained the same situation, and you're like, oh man, I'm jealous.
Sounds amazing.
That sounds amazing. And I was like, I know.
Dude, to be at like a suburban Applebee's, sitting at the bar, ice cold. It's so cold you can't even taste. Yes, thank you very much. Appreciate it. The beer is so cold you can't even taste
The coldest
it.
beers.
That's what I want.
I love it.
And some boneless wings or something. Oh, doesn't get better.